Well, hello everybody. It's Rich 220. Oh my God, do I look like hell? I'm gonna try and make up for last night. I guess I better start doing some networking, otherwise nobody's gonna know I'm on. Pia, I'm on again now. Kind of a makeup for last night. I don't know what keeps happening, but something keeps getting messed up. This time I have live chat on, so there shouldn't be any problems. It's 3:07 here right now, PM. Hey Pia, how you doing? I see you made it in. All right. So it looks like everything's working properly this time. I had to go through your message to see which one you were talking about because one says top chat and the other one says live chat. So I have it on live chat now. Can you see my message? Yes, I can. It has your little wrench and it has your little bubble circle and it says, "Hi, Rich." Can you hear me? That's what matters. Because if I can see you, then that means it's working properly. Hi, Pia. Good. All right, good. So everything's working. Now I got to do some networking and get some people in here because they all expected it to happen last night. And after an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes, I got bored and just said, you know what? This is ridiculous. See, let me do this on Facebook. Shoot. Everybody, I am live on YouTube. Rich 220. I'll just load up the picture from last night, I guess. That ought to work. Mm-hmm. See how long it takes for that to post. Oh, good. That's pretty quick. Let's see if you can click the thumbs up there, Pia. Let's see if it goes through. Let's make sure everything is working. That's why I want to make sure. Hey, okay, good. That's perfect then. All right. Now, the only thing I got to know is how do you put up thumbnails, like pictures? I have no idea how to do that here. But I see everybody else talking about thumbnails and, taking pictures for their filming. I don't know how to do that. Maybe I better go back to Instagram. See, there's a little smile face on the bottom. I guess that's an audio output. Tells you how many people are in the room. See, I'm not going to add any of that other stuff like that funding. Excuse me. I'm not going to add any of that funding stuff because I got to get an audience, and I don't have any yet. How do I do the thumbnail, like, for your videos and stuff? I don't know what the hell that third one is. Let's see, you got the live stream, you got the camera, and then there's a third icon, then there's a exclamation point and like a little chat cube. And you got live chat. Don't know. Ugh. Or is it something you have to actually, like, when you're done with it, you have to edit it and then put the picture in and then whatever, I guess close it? All right, let's see. Nobody on here really. Nope. Let's see. Go back to Facebook. Yeah, let's see who's on my thing. Hey, Damon, guess what? I'm a YouTube streamer. Rich220. I'm on right now. Can't hurt, right? One is one. Hey, Ron, it's Rich. 220. I'm live on YouTube right now. Streaming. Oh boy, let's see if we can get some people in here. Yeah, this is called networking. You have to manually do all the footwork. Hey, Randy, I'm live right now on YouTube. Rich220. Thank God for the microphone. I wouldn't want to sit there typing all this all day. Ugh. Let's see. Hey, Mike, I'm live right now on YouTube. Rich220. Next. Who's my next victim? Okay, yeah, let me get this one here. Hey, Richard, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Rich220. If you are here now, we want to say welcome and I can join. Okay. So you do not miss a new video, Rich220. Of course, don't forget to press the thumbs up. Okay. What is this thing doing? Thank you there, Pia. Yep. That's right. We're trying to get this audience up. And I'm doing my end over here on Facebook to try and do networking. Hey, Mark, it's Rich. I'm on YouTube live right now. Rich220. See, I don't want to pressure them too much into like, hey, I'm on here. Why don't you show up? So I'm just like giving them the option by saying I'm online. But at the same time, yeah, we do want to grow an audience as well. I understand that. And it's not going to happen if these people don't start showing up. Hey, Moog, it's Rich. I'm on YouTube right now, live. Rich220. Don't forget to give me a little thumbs up if you show up. As a kid, I used to drive in school, or drive to school. Okay. Jay, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. See, sometimes these people are a little delayed in getting their messages too, so that's another thing, Well, that went out. That's always nice. Smoke a cigarette and it just goes. Let's see, who else we got on here? Hey, Dean, I'm live on YouTube, Rich220. Right now. Oh, okay. Trying, but another channel just ended a video. Okay. Well, even if they don't like me, they may at least stop and, take a look, No. Hey, Bob, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. It's 3:20 p.m. here in Jersey. Look up Rich220 on YouTube. See if we get anybody out there. Now, I don't know why it's so difficult for me to draw an audience. It's not, it's not for anybody else. I've seen people just like get on here and automatically they've got, I got 700 and something friends on Facebook. This shouldn't be this difficult. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. I don't know. And then it's like they disappear. Like, what the heck? I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Well, maybe I better put on the TV, huh? Looks like it's going to be another one of those long ones. Turn that on. And we'll turn this back on. It takes so many times to turn on the TV. I don't know why. It shouldn't, but it does. Surprised my brother wasn't on. Normally about now he's on Facebook, unless he's in pain. Well, seeing since my last live stream was a total bust, I'm on YouTube again right now. Rich 220. Oh. God, this thing is slow. Why does this TV take so long to warm up? It's a flat screen. It's not like it's a bubble TV.
Menu, button, 1 of 8. In main menu, 80 items.
It took that long for it to warm up. Really?
In home, HDMI 1 arc,
Is that
button,
the one or
1 of
not?
80. In a grid,
Pretty sure it is.
1 arc.
Many people do not press on the thumbs. I think you were supposed to say or like or unlike. They just log out. Oh. That's kind of sucks because you don't know if they're leaving or not. You could be sitting there having a conversation with them, and then all of a sudden, like you're talking to yourself, like you're nuts. It's crazy, you know?
Wait a minute, Mr. and Mrs. Gruesome. How would you like a broken down mansion? That's the kind you like. It's the old Tombstone Manor place. Sounds repulsively attractive. Here's a picture of Tombstone Manor. Oh, it's delightfully morbid. Beautifully run down. I hope the neighbors are nice.
Hey, Tim. It's Rich.
Next door to this place are the Flintstones.
I actually had a live stream going the other night, and it was a bust, so I figured I'd try it again. I'm on YouTube. Rich 220. Seeing since the other night was a bust, Randy, I'm on YouTube right now. Rich 220. Just give it a thumbs up so I know you were there. I don't care, man. I love these old cartoons. It's freaking hilarious. These people actually did the artwork by hand, not by computer. You're gonna stay on here for. I'm gonna stay on here for quite a while. I think. I've seen some people actually have live streams that last 3 hours. Of course, I don't know if I want to sit here that long, but if people start showing up, yeah, then I will. I don't have a problem with that. But the audience has got to start growing. This is ridiculous.
There's our new resident, dear. Tombstone Manor.
Oh, isn't it a lovely set?
A little unfixing here and there, and it will be a total wreck.
Abominable lawn. I love it.
Waist high crab grass. With real crabs. Delightfully wretched place.
Oh, weirdly, that must be our new neighbor, Mr. Soapstone.
Hello, New Jersey.
No, don't want to hear it.
Wrong. His name's not Soapstone. Come on, dear. Let's look inside our house.
You know what the thing is that really bothers me is that it's like the people won't even give me a chance. You know, it's like I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here. And it's like, you know, I'm doing everything else that everybody else does. The only thing is I'm not putting merch up and I'm not taking donations for cash. So what's the problem? You know, I mean, it's not costing them anything, really, nothing at all.
Come on, Schneider.
That's what I don't get about people.
What could his parents be thinking of? Now he's heading for that spooky old place next door. All the other kids leave Tombstone Manor strictly alone. Now he's getting into that black station wagon. Hey, Blackstone station wagon?
Oh, God.
The hearse.
We'll have the storage company move our things in, weird.
Right away, Creepella.
We have a good start with Tombstone Manor, darling.
Even if you don't stay, just click on the thumbs up so I know you were here.
Join the club.
I'm on right now. I'm staying on here for a while because I'm trying to build up my audience because YouTube screwed up my stream a couple of nights ago. And apparently last night things didn't go right either.
Face it, Fred. You had a nightmare during the day. I tell you, it happened. Say, that's your plan. Well, it's a fast-growing watermelon seed.
I'm doing everything that everybody else does. I'm making the videos. I'm doing the live streams. The only thing I'm not doing is collecting donations for money from people or putting merch up for people to get ripped off by. So literally it's free. It's not like, you know, I'm charging anybody anything. That's not how you build an audience. Greed is what that is.
Okay, little family food, that's coming. Hold on tight, fellas.
Oh boy. Ow. Stiff legs. I'll turn that down a little bit. All right. Don't need that blending into what I'm doing here. Yeah, I went out there again, Pia, to try and work on the car today, but for some reason the hood was left open. I don't remember doing that. But nothing was messed with, so I'm good there. But it was so cold out, it's like there's ice everywhere, and I'm sitting in front of the car trying to put bolts on, and I'm literally slipping. I'm holding on to the grill because I'm falling. That's how bad the ice is out there. And then my hands just started getting frozen again, and I was like, you know what, this is not worth it. This is just aggravating, you know? So I just closed everything down and went back inside. I'm not even going to upload the video because all it was swears and curses, you know? I just had no patience for it today.
I
Ugh.
don't know, but I hope they keep it chained up. Wilma, look at the size of that bird cage. There's no bird there. Of course, I could be wrong. Smart Cat would leave that bird alone. Betty,
Yeah, because I wanted to make some more content, you know, but the problem is like with the weather being so cold and all the ice and everything on the ground, and you know, my shoes aren't grip whatever the hell they call it, grip proof or whatever. I can't do anything out there. I can't even stand on a stool in order to go over the fender to try and put spark plugs in because, you know, now the fenders are way up there and the engine's like way down below. So it's kind of like I have to lay on the fender in order to get the spark plug in. It's just not worth it, you know. Plus slipping off of it, you know. I mean, I'm not a kid. I'm 52. If I fall off of that, I'm going to get seriously hurt, you know. I don't think anybody is on. Well, let's see. Let me see who's on Instagram. I'll do some networking there, I guess, too. Hey, Uncle Bill. It's Jane's boy, Rich. Jane. I hate when this thing does this. You say Jane, and it says James. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220. Yeah, even relatives. I don't care. Yeah. Anybody at all. Well, let's see. No, that's chat. I just got done going through that. So let's close this. Let's try this. What's this? I don't know what the heck that is. So, yeah. Yeah, we wait to see if somebody comes in. Yeah, but the thing is that, you know, at the same time, I have to do networking because these people don't know that I'm on there now. I just went on, you know. Took it upon myself to show up. So, let me see if Bayou's on. Nope, he's not live either. He's not even on here. Hey, buddy, I'm on YouTube right now. Rich 220. Let's see. We have Angry Cajun. We have Puddin'. Hey, buddy, I'm live on YouTube. Rich 220. Just stop in and give me a thumbs up to let me know you were here. We got 2 people in here now. Here. Well, there was 2 people in here. I guess I just came in and left. I got bored. Hey, Dan, it's Rich. I'm on YouTube live right now. Rich 220. Not it's 220. Rich. No, you have to be careful. Careful about what? Pia, what are you talking about? I'm live once again, Graham, on YouTube. Rich 220.
Now you apologize to the Gruesome.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry I am.
Yeah.
I apologize, Gruesomes.
That's all right, Mr. Gruesome.
Good.
Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, Poor Boy's Garage. That's it. Hey, Brad, I'm live now on YouTube. Right now, 3:37 p.m. Rich 220.
What will the Gruesomes think of us?
What will they think of us?
I gotta watch when this thing types.
Think of them.
Fred, please don't hurt their feelings.
Well, okay.
Oh, you talk about when I'm out working on the car. Yeah, I know. It's like I said, the hardest part about this is I don't have a garage. Otherwise, I'd be able to do content all the time. You know what I mean? And I would have had that car running by now. But because I don't, and because it's not movable right now, it's up on jack stands, I can't do nothing, you know? What am I going to do? I'm going to roll it into a carport where I can't get up underneath it because the ground is all messed up. That's not going to work, you know?
See you later stuff. I don't want to see them later. I'm gruesome up the head.
I've offered to mind Goblin for them. The Gruesomes have to go out for a while. I'll get it.
If it's the gruesomes, we're not home.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, we got, hey, Tom, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220.
I thought maybe
Just doing a chat and chill.
all right, I'll be in today.
What the hell is this D? Where the hell did the D come from? I said 220. Stupid.
So I can't mind little Goblin for the Gruesomes.
You're lucky.
But I can't disappoint the Gruesomes. They're counting on me to be happy.
They almost
So I know Mortski Repair, Dee Dee Speed Shop, Puddin's Fab Shop.
Betty's coming with
What the hell was the other one? Poor Boy's Garage.
Thanks, boys. See you
And Junkyard Digs. I know them too, but I don't really. And I know Derek from Vice Grip Garage, but they're too busy to even talk to somebody. Junkyard Digs is, and so is Derek from Vice Grip. He's got too much going on. I've seen what his videos, so I know he's very busy with his El Camino rap and everything else.
It's revoltingly nice of you to mind little Goblin for us. He won't be long.
Well, there you go.
And Mortski and Puddin, they actually go at it together with each other. I've seen them actually have like truck derbies and stuff like that. So they're kind of like buddies. But what the heck was it? I caught Mortski sitting there making fun of Puddin and made him look all like flamboyant and junk, you know. And I turned around, I told Puddin, I said, "You better watch out for your buddy. He's kind of trying to make you look like you're a little fruity."
Come on, Fred. Let's check on little Gubby. Hey, Gubby, Fred. Yeah, I might know where he is. Fred,
Yeah, there's not much more that has to go back on it in order for it to run. I mean, I'm that close, but like I said, with the weather, can't do nothing, you know. Got two not suspension, but the suspension that goes to the frame rail. I have two bolts that are supposed to go through that, and they're supposed to be torqued down. I can't even do that because I can't get underneath the car now with all the snow and ice. That's what it's like living in New Jersey up in the sticks. Oh yeah. Nobody is online. It's like every time I go online, nobody's online. Either that or they all run for the hills. Dupe. Hey, Dita, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Stop by and give a thumbs up, would you? Let me know you were here. God, I look like Wreck of the Hesperus. Holy crap. I hope my brother's all right, because normally he's like on Facebook right now. And he's, I made him a mod in here too. He's my younger brother. Hey, Mindy. It's Rich. I'm live on not Facebook, on YouTube right now. Rich220. I don't think there's anybody else that I can actually tell. I mean, I did a news feed message, and I'm beaming the people that are actually online, that I'm seeing that are online anyway. Nope. No, Jeff is down here. And he's not on. Hey, Robert, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Hey, somebody else is in here. Say hi. I'm saying hi to you. Any questions or anything anybody wants to know about cars or boom boxes? I don't know. I'm restoring a 57 Chevy, which is taking a long time. And that's because I actually have to rip everything apart and put it back together. A lot of people do these will it run thing after 30 years. But the only thing that they have to deal with is spark plugs, distributor, and carburetor. That's it. You know, and they pour a little Marvel's Mystery Oil. Me, I had to rip everything apart. Heads off all of it. Okay, who sent me a message now? That's Flood 22. LOL, I just lost my YouTube for multiple. Oh, dang. And I was at. Dang.
Dad,
On my other TikTok, I'll restart
where are you going?
YouTube again after the dust settles down. Sounds good, buddy. That's cool. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, if that's you in here, Rich, just thumbs up me because I could see it. Because I see there's two people in here. One is my mod, and there's another person in here. So mainly what I do is, like I said, I do restorations. I do paint, metal fabrication, body work, interior refabrication, like the reupholstering of the seats, door panels, headliner, the dash I redid on my 57 because somebody cut holes in it. And the color was like I don't know what the hell they call it. They call it like a Highlander green, but it looked putrid. It looked disgusting. So I redid the whole dash. The steering wheel was white. Now it's turquoise to match the dash. All the trim was pretty much missing off the dash where it says Bel Air. The only part that was there was the piece that was on the end closest to the steering wheel and the one closest to the driver door. So I redid the whole thing. Appreciate it, bud. A lot of my followers keep getting kicked because YouTube keeps screwing up my live streams. Last week was one that they messed up, and they did it again to me this week. So that's why I'm doing the live now. I figured if somebody's not at the helm, maybe it won't give them a chance to mess it up. Well, I know we got some visitors. I just don't know how many. Guess I can find that out by going on YouTube now. Or will that mess everything up? Interference from one to the other. Okay. Hey, Juan. Hey, buddy, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. I want to see Gary Thompson. Yeah. Hey, Gary, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. I didn't say bridge. Rich. Stupid phone. Say hello. Somebody else is in here, so how you doing? And then they disappear. I've never seen such antsy people in all my life. It's like I just look over the screen, I see two, then I see one. This is pathetic. If this is what everybody had to go through, I could see why there's aggravation. The funny thing was is I actually had 65 followers, then I had 64, and now I think I got 65 again. Let's see. We're back out of this. No, wait a minute, hold on a second. I see somebody else. I think I know. Maybe not. Nope. Hey, you brat. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220. It's like people don't even finish going through the messages that you send them, like, or they're like talking to you and they don't go through the complete process of finishing out the conversation with you. It's like they said what they wanted to say and that was good enough. That's all they needed to do. Let's see, what was the other guy's name? Roy Westervelt, I think. Not sure. All right. No, I gotta go back up here. Let's see if anybody shows up. All right, Jawan's on. Robert. Let's see. No. I hope my brother's okay. I haven't heard from him. Normally by now I hear something. Hey man, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220. All right, just even the random people, you might get somebody that comes in here. I don't know. It's all a bunch of annoying networking. I'm live right now, Sal, on YouTube. Rich 220. Must be pretty boring for you, huh, Pia? I wish I knew how to put a thumbnail up, Actually, I'd like to do one with my, maybe I could do it with my phone somehow. And, well, stop on over there, man, and give me a thumbs up there so I know you were here. I'm trying to build my audience, but it's not going so well. YouTube keeps messing everything up. I'm not doing anything wrong. I mean, YouTube had messed up my lives twice in a row, My one last night and the one the week before. So I had what? What did I have in that live stream before I had to redo it over again? I had like 8 people in there, right? And then they just disappeared. It was like they were waiting on me to show up, and I had to close that out and redo everything all over again. All these other people are not online. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Matthew, it's Rich. Come check me out on YouTube. I'm live right now. Rich 220. And keep trying. Well, we've had a couple people in here because I've seen the number change from 1 to 2 at least a couple of times. So the only thing is they don't stay; they just leave. You know. Nope, nobody else is on. Hey, man, it's Rich, the one that helped you with your Lasonic boombox. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Oh, I don't know why this leg gets so stiff. Yeah, but don't react to it. Go to the live stream and say something. No. Hey, Ed, I'm live on YouTube right now. I didn't say Adam. Since when does Ed sound like Adam? Ed. I'm Rich220. Nope, I think that's about it. Yeah, I know. Because you know what? It's like, I wish they had something to ask. You know, like if they said something, you know, then I could respond to it. But they just keep like 1 second gone, 1 second gone, 1 second gone. You know, it's like, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. And it starts all the way back up the row again. Hey, Robert, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Stop by and say hi. Click the thumbs up. Yeah, I'm gonna see what it is on YouTube. But it should tell me how many were in here, right? All right, put that down. This that way. Back. Okay. Yeah, I have 65 subscribers, so I just don't know how to do the thumbnails. It doesn't give me that option. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I mean, you know, if they asked me something, it would be different. Maybe they'd stay a little longer. But I guess they don't have anything to ask me, you know? Oh. I guess the good thing is I'm not going to get any bad, what do I call that, talk from anybody because nobody knows I'm here. See, they have to want to come in. If they don't want to come in, it's not going to happen. There's a lot of noise going on there.
No, Pebble, just can't play with Bam Bam today. Or any day.
65 subscribers. This raid's going to take me forever to get subscribers. Well, somebody's in here. Just say hi and give me a thumbs up before you leave, please. Something. If you got a question to ask me. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I do restorations on old cars. I just got done ripping apart a 283 and putting it back together. And that includes everything. I also do boom boxes on the side. I have a customer's radio here now from North Carolina. His needed, somebody took out the bottom part of the cassette player, the back plate that holds the motor in place, and they ripped a bunch of wires out, which I actually had him get another one cheap, which was actually a parts radio, and we cannibalized the parts from that, put it in his radio. Now, the only thing we got to wait for is motors because he doesn't have good ones, and the donor radio doesn't have any good motors either. So we need new motors for both cassette players, and then his radio should function at 100% once again. And he paid a lot of money for the radio, but, when you're dealing with somebody online and you don't know what you're getting, they could sit there and rip the radio apart and put in junk and ship it out to you, and take your money. So you got to be very careful. And the car that I'm working on, it's actually a numbers match. It's the original 283 V8 that came with this car back in 57. So it's original. But I have to do metal fabrication. Well, no, not the metal fabrication. I have to do the interior. I have to do the seats, the door panels, and the headliner. I did the steering wheel already because somebody cut holes in it, and I did the dash. Well, I did the steering wheel, painted it in the color of the car. The dash I painted the same color as the car, but somebody took all the dash trim off, and I had to relocate some, and I had to redo the dash by putting metal in there and welding it, and then put the dash trim over the top of it. So I have plenty of videos on here that show other cars that I've done too. It's not just the one car. I believe there's a 50 Dodge Coronet, a 52 Plymouth. What the heck is this? A 67 Charger, a 69 Impala Custom, a 64 Volkswagen Bug, and one that I didn't get videos of because it was actually my ex-wife's son's car, was a 76 Olds 442, which I redid. We pulled that out of a junkyard, but that car didn't have the same fate as all the other ones. The transmission went on it, and I'm not a trans guy. I'm an engine guy, and the electrics I can handle, and the interior work and body work and metal fabrication I can handle, as well as painting. But that's it. That's all I do. And I know all the other guys. I know DD Speed Shop. I know Mortsky Repair. I know Junkyard Digs, Junkyard Mook. I know Poor Boy's Garage and Puddin's Fab Shop. That guy's a joker, but he's really smart. He's not stupid. He's got a lot of brains upstairs. He ripped the front end out of that one little truck that he had in the garage, and he fabricated a new front end for it from scratch. That takes some skill, I'm telling you, to be able to, put the airbags in the front and rebuild your suspension from making brackets and stuff and attaching them to the frame is something else. You have to know what you're doing. That's not something that, you can just take a welding machine and start welding metal together, So anything you want to ask or, just say hi or something. Let me know you're here. I mean, I know you're here from the thing up top because it says there's 2 people in here. So I was going to go out and work on the car today, but everything just started collapsing around me. I almost slipped out there and fell because of the ice, trying to put a couple of bolts in the exhaust manifold. And I tried to get up on the stool and go over the fender and try and get some spark plugs in. And it just wasn't happening today. It's like one of those days where you just give up. You don't have any choice because then you get aggravated, and you wind up getting mad and you wind up just, I can't have film footage with me using all sorts of obscenities. So and they left again, Pia. That was quick. At least they stayed for a little bit, but they didn't ask anything. What the hell is that? Mm-hmm. Oh, well. You know what? I'll tell you something else, Pia. My brother even asked. He's like, I'm not hitting subscribe because I'm not paying a subscription fee. I'm like, I told him, I said, you're not buying a magazine. I said, it doesn't cost you anything to hit that button. They're not going to charge you or send you a monthly bill. Oh, God. Oh, well. I mean, if I didn't do any of the networking, nobody would have came in to begin with. You know what I mean? Even if they didn't ask anything, they wouldn't have said anything. Or they wouldn't have showed up. So, yeah, it's just a pain in the butt that you got to do this every time, It's like people, I have that radio, but it's not the same thing. Mine is the, what the hell is it called? It's the more expensive version. That's the cheap knockoff version. Oh, boy. The real. cold enough. I don't need to go out there and see that mess.
Growing up is a tough business, all right. Especially in
Well, let's see. Yeah, I had no views on that. Wow. No, 11 views last night. Yeah, that was Friday, February 4th. It said views 8, but it says on the main page, it says 11. So, I mean, maybe they must have just caught the people that were like in and out, you know? Now you see me, now you don't. Oh, God. Oh, freaking stiff leg, man. Ugh. Quarantined. Average view duration, 803. Up. Okay. Let's see. 2 of 10 ratings by views. Impressions, click-through rate, 13.9. It's low. That's funny. Go to content and it says chat with 11 views 20 hours ago. And you click on it and it says 8 views. Which one is it, 11 or 8? Mm-hmm. Nope. Okay. I am live on YouTube right now, Rich220, at 4:15 p.m. What's strange? You know, so one person that helped me out through all this was a guy named Gary. And he hasn't been on in a long time. He used to run racetracks, you know, straightaways in 57 Chevys. He had a lot of them. Oh, good. Hey, Aunt Lori, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Aunt Lori. Sorry, microphone don't know how to spell your name right. Duh. You mean why they can't say hi? I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, it's not like, what am I going to do? Come through the screen and bite them or something? Really? I know. I know what it might be. Maybe it's because I'm scary looking. Maybe I should go and get some hair gel and shave my face and, you know, look all pretty like I'm going out on a hot date or something. But what's the point in that? You know, and I'll bet you this is the funny thing is I'll bet you some of the people that have been stopping in are people that I know from Facebook and people that I know from Instagram and here. And I don't get it. I really don't understand. What's the big deal? You can't say hi. You can't put your little mouse cursor over the little thumbs up thing. You can't ask a question, really? Duh. Send me messages. I'll at least get it. And just go on YouTube, type in the search bar Rich 220. And it'll bring you to my live stream ASAP. So we got somebody that's actually here. I just messaged somebody else. He was sitting there talking about he's going to show up and at least click the thumbs up or say hi or something. And these are people that actually known me for a long time, you know. So, but he got banned off of YouTube because he had a lot of violations. So there you go. There's one. There's a thumbs up. Is that you, Richard? Just say hi over in the chat log. Okay. Yeah, he's got some major followers. He knows who I am. And you know, I think he knows my brother too. So I don't know if you're subscribed, but why don't you subscribe too, Rich? So that way you'll know the next time I post another live stream or another video. You know, you don't have to show up, but if you want to, it's there, you know. And my own family just like disappeared as soon as I made a message saying, "Hey, I'm live on YouTube." My aunts and uncles, they just disappear. It's like, really? You can't be bothered with me that bad? That's pretty sad, you know. That's horrible when you can't support your own family in something they're doing just by stopping by and saying, "Hey, what's up?" You know. Oh boy. Yeah, so if this is Rich, I'm not going to say your last name because you know I know who you are. I am. My brother's also a moderator in here, but he hasn't been on Facebook, so I don't know if he's all right or not. I'm thinking about giving him a call, find you know. But yeah, I mean, if you're not subscribed, just click the subscribe button. It's not going to cost you anything, and it's not like a subscription fee to a magazine or something. YouTube is not going to send you a bill at the end of every month for subscribing to me. Yeah, there they go. They disappeared. As soon as they hear the word subscribe, it's like, ooh, voodoo. God. Yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone. It's like not in real time. uh, let's see. Anybody else log on that I don't respond to? I'm still online. YouTube. I don't know what's going on here. Hey, Randy, I'm live on YouTube again right now. 4:23 p.m. Rich 220. Just give me a thumbs up or say hi, man. On YouTube. This guy doesn't answer any of his messages. That was a long time ago. Nope. Hey, Joe. I'm live again right now on YouTube. Rich 220. Yeah. Oh, my God, man. It's like, I will try it that way. Do the reversal, because for one of my legs, I can actually bend up all the way up underneath the other, even though I'm as heavy as I am. But the other one, I can't. It's not as flexible. But after I sit on it for a while, it hurts, you know? So I have to get up off of it. Well, let's see. Anybody else? No. No. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220. I don't know. Oh, that's a teacher. The school I used to work at. Oh, here's another one. Yep. I'm live on YouTube again right now, Richie. Rich 220. Hmm. My uncle's not online. And I think that's about it. Hey, man, I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. No, not it's 220. Rich220. It's going to the next mess up that it can possibly do. Hey, Mark. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Keeps going. It's 220. Rich220. I think this phone needs a Q-tip. Like it's got a bad ear or something. No. I don't see anybody else online right now. Jesus, I got a long list of people that I could contact here. Hey, Megan, it's Rich, your daughter's old bus driver. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich220. Digging in the bottom of the barrel now. Nobody's online. I don't get it. 4:30. Oh, maybe that's dinner time for some people. Who knows? No, I don't want to see somebody's. Why does that look like Joan Jett? Yeah, right. Ooh. Just go on YouTube and up in the search bar, type in Rich220. I'm doing a live stream. It's a Q&A about, 57 Chevys, the engine, the rebuild that I did while the block was still in the car that everybody made fun of me about. Well, let's see if I can find a picture now. This is the same engine after rebuild. So a lot of people didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could actually rebuild the engine while the block was still in the car. And they thought it was stupid that I left it in there. They're like, why didn't you just get an engine hoist and an engine stand and rebuild it outside the car? I'm like, what the hell's the difference? So what? I got to get on the ground. I got to climb over the fender of the car. I'm not doing it when there's ice on the ground. I'm not going to sit there and break my neck for content. It's not worth it. My safety comes first, you know? But once the weather starts breaking again, which will probably be about another month or two, I'll be back out there working on it again until it's done, you know, or at least until I can drive it. And then I'll do the other stuff as I go along, because that's not that much of an emergency. The emergency is just getting the car running, you know. The guy goes, I don't know how to receive it. Receive what? Go on the internet, you type in YouTube. You go on YouTube, go on a search bar, and you type in Rich 220. How hard is that? I'm not computer savvy anymore, but I can do that. So can anybody else. Yeehaw. Let's see. Well, I'm going to go on more skis and tell them I'm live too. It's Rich 220. 220. 220. I'm live on YouTube right now. Live streaming. Which will end in about an hour and 30 minutes. By that time, it'll be 6 or 5:30. It's a Q&A about how to rebuild 57 Chevy engines while the block is in the car, not outside of it. Stop by, say hi, click the subscribe button. You're not paying for a subscription fee. It's free. And get this out of here. Post it. Let's see what happens. Because sometimes you'll get some of the viewers from those streams in here. Be surprised. Okay, let's see who else we got here. That's funny. The guy that sold me the car, Pia, he's actually subscribed to Vice Grip Garage, but he's not subscribed to me. Is that messed up or what? I'm looking at it right now. I don't believe this. And the other guy is too. I don't understand this. What the hell? That sucks. That's really horrible, you know? I don't get it. I gave the guy $3,000 for that car. He got pissed off because I found out it was a numbers match. His girlfriend, beat it into his brain that the car was a piece of junk, that there was nothing left. And he actually made a video of that. I think it's actually posted on here. He said there's no car left. And he dropped the stuff that was in the back seat. The car looked like crap. I'm not going to kid you. When I got it, underneath and everything else, it looked like, like what the hell, But all it took was a little bit of elbow grease and, what I'm doing now. And, he could bring something that looks like garbage and bring it back to life, It just takes a while, that's all. No, I just posted on the news feed again. And I went to Mortsky's garage or Mortsky's repair and, put a post on his that I'm live now. So let's see what happens. That's a lot of networking. I don't think I can do anything on Instagram. No. It's not the same. Like, a lot of people don't visit Instagram. I could try it. No, that ain't gonna help. This here. I'm live on YouTube right now. Rich 220. I love these old cartoons. It's just something about them, It's like when you were a kid, Plus the fact that they didn't do them on the computer. They actually did them free-handed. That takes a lot of talent, Oh, I still got a half one over there. That's because these things go out halfway. Yeehaw. Oh, I didn't tell Tom. Shit. But I don't know if he's live or not, though, so. No, wait a minute. Maybe I did. No, he didn't see it. Now, I know Dan saw it because it says seen 57 minutes ago. Dan from DD Speed Shop. He saw it. Okay. Puddin did not. Puddin's Fab Shop. I don't think because he's got the wife now, so and he has kids, so he's going to be busy with that. Plus, he makes a big deal about it. Like, it's so hard to sit there and like and subscribe to my channel. And I turned around and I told him, I says, it's not called a handout, it's called a hand up. You're helping somebody else out, and remember where you came from, What's he saying? Okay. Yeah, Richie. So just go on there and give me a thumbs up so I know you were there. Or say something in the chat box. Say hi, Rich. On YouTube.
Frankly, Betty, I don't think it. Bonnie needs it badly. That look of his has been wider than a corkscrew. But at such a high peak, too much practice might make you go.
I'm going to try and stay on here for 3 hours, I guess. That'll be my maximum. I'm already at 1 hour and 36 minutes. Yeah. Just trying to build my audience. I mean, all these other guys, they're fakes and frauds. And I'm not talking about the automotive division. I'm talking about haunted places and stuff like that. To me, they're phony. They're fraud. They're actually after your money. I'm not. Neither are my friends. So if you can subscribe, that'd be great. Don't worry, YouTube won't send you no subscription fee at the end of the month. Doesn't cost anything. LOL. That's crazy. It's like these people think they're going to be charged something. I swear that's what I'm thinking. Because my brother was like all bent out of shape. I'm not subscribing. I'm not getting charged some friggin' fee. Oh, okay. Hi, Richie. How you doing? You can go over here. See over here? There's a little chat box. You can say hi. That way I know you're here. He just left. Okay.
I need to go out and have some fun and enjoy vacation once in a while. All work and no play is the key to dull boy.
See, sometimes people get kicked offline too, Like they would try and get in here, and I guess YouTube boots them out. Hey, how you doing? Is this Richie? Oh, there's 3 people in here now. Okay. Who is Stingray? 2006. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? There's somebody else in here, too. Pia is, she's a moderator. And believe it or not, I had to pull teeth, but my brother's a moderator, too. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I'll subscribe to your channel. You got anything up on it or no? Is it you got the boom boxes or what? Because I have boom boxes. Yeah, so that's I do the cars and the boom boxes, Right now I have a friend of mine's boombox here from North Carolina, Eli. He bought the radio from Rio Papa on Facebook, but they took parts out of his radio. Oh, okay. Yeah, they took parts out of his radio and sent him the radio for, I think it was like $1,500 he paid for it. And when he got it, the tape decks didn't play because the top motor was burnt out and the bottom motor was like missing. So was the bracket that holds it in place. Oh, okay. All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I got over, 203 videos, but you can, don't even bother with the shorts, just the ones that have the cars. I have many cars that I've worked on, and you'll see that there's videos of those in here. You might have to search a little bit through them, but they're here. I did quite a few cars. Yep. Yeah, mainly what I'm into is making those cars look like brand new again. I take them when they look like garbage, and my thing is I'm not trying to do a will it run. I'm trying to do let's restore it. You know what I mean? Go the full mile, not a quarter of it. And I don't have a garage, but I do the work myself. I don't have nobody help me. I was going to have somebody do it, but I decided against it, and I did the work myself. So, and a lot of people have been making fun of me because I left the engine block in the car and did the work that way. But it doesn't matter which way you do it. You can buy an engine hoist and an engine stand and rip the motor out and take it off the transmission. But I find that's more work, because then you have to measure everything, get it right back in line with everything again. And it's just a pain. So it's easier for me to take connecting rod caps, bearings out, drop them off the crank on the bottom, and then, take the push rods and the rocker arms and the heads off, and then remove the bad pistons and rings and put new pistons and rings in. And then, just do the time and chain, the head gaskets, the intake manifold gasket when you're putting it all back together. And then, the little tiny stuff is the stuff like the carburetor, the electric that goes to the distributor coil, the radiator, the fuel pump, because I have to get new hoses for that fuel pump. The fuel pump hose was actually, it was dry rotted. It would have gone if I would actually ran that car for a little while. So, but yeah, I'm rebuilding. It's the original 283 V8 from the factory from 1957, and it's a numbers match car. So a lot of people don't know that either. That's the reason why I went and bought it sight unseen. The guy that dollied it all the way up to my house is Chucky. He's actually friends or subscribed to Vice Grip Garage, but I don't think he's subscribed to me. I'm like, I'm the one that bought the friggin' car off of you, And I think what happened was his girlfriend or wife or whatever got annoyed because the car it was an eyesore, And she somehow, I guess, convinced him that it was a piece of junk. There was nothing left, and he needed to get rid of it. And sadly enough for him, I took it, and it looks like it's, not a piece of junk anymore. Yep. That's the whole thing. And a lot of people find it difficult to be able to do that, but it doesn't bother me. Yeah. Yep. But the thing is that I was getting a lot of flack from people. That's what was really annoying me the most, because the way I did it, they didn't think I knew what I was doing. And lo and behold, surprise, sucker. But I've done quite a few cars. It wasn't just that. There's been I've been in this house since 2004, and I would say I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Oldsmobile will be my 8th car in this driveway that I've worked on myself and brought it back to looking presentable and driving, like it's supposed to. And that's the biggest thing. I like the old cars, and they're fading away. And if, you're going to bring them back to the point where they run, and the car's body on the car is workable and the floors are workable, and you can do those kind of things, and you can do interior work, Yes, I am. Yeah. You want to see here? Hold on. Yes, I love the old cartoons. I can't help it. I have them all. I'm not kidding either. Here, hold on a second. I don't know if you can see it. See the DVDs right there? Yeah. Yeah, I have quite a few of them. But the old cartoons are the cartoons that they actually had some imagination. They didn't use computer graphics then. They did everything freehand, you know, with your hands, no computer. And I think it takes more talent to do that than it does to do a computer graphics screen, of this kind of stuff. Oh, I have that too. I think I have them going all the way back to 1969. Yep. I have ones you probably haven't heard of in a long time. Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Let's see. Speed Buggy. Magilla Gorilla. What the hell is it? There's a couple other ones. I have the old Heathcliffs. I have the original Transformers. There's another one I have too. Ricochet Rabbit. Yeah. Yeah, I have that. But I like the Flintstones. The Flintstones was my better thing. Those were the kind of cartoons that you used to sit there on in the early morning hours before school and you're like this. If drool could come out of your mouth, that would happen. Yeah. Yeah. I have, what is it? Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Oh, I also have Mighty Mouse. That's old. Dick Dastardly and Muttley, Wild Races, and the other one when they're in the plane, the Red Baron, and the other one when they're in the cars. So, yeah, I got a lot of old TV sitcoms too. The Munsters, The Addams Family, All in the Family, Rocky and Bullwinkle. That cartoon is actually ancient. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're only as old as you feel, man. That's it, And like some days I don't feel good and I don't go out there and work on the car because I'm just not in the mood for it. And then other days, if the weather is, kind of working with me, then I'll go out there and do something on it. You know what I mean? Like today I went out there and tried to put a couple of bolts in the exhaust manifold, but every time I tried to get a bolt in there, I kept slipping on a big old like pitcher's mound of ice, so it got to the point where I almost fell and on my knees, and I'm like would have hit my head on the bumper or something. I'm like, I'm not doing this today. So I just closed it up and called it quits for the day. There'll be other days to do it. Yeah. Yeah, well, if I comb my hair, I mean, look at me. I still got a full head of hair. It's rooster hair, but nonetheless, it's hair. It's not a toupee. It's not, the real question is toupee or not toupee, But my hair is out of control. It's always been that way since I was a kid. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just like you comb it and it just decides to do its own thing. Yeah, so yeah, that's something I'm into. I'm into, the old DVDs of the sitcoms and stuff. Right now I'm learning how to fix my paint on my car. Yeah, well, you sand it down and you square it off, like just the section that you're doing work on. But you got to remember your lows are actually, I'm trying to think how this goes now, because I did it in a video on here when I painted the 57 and I sanded a part of it and I turned around and I said, now I think how I did it was I said your highs are your dull spots, and your lows are your glossy spots. So the ones that are low have to be brought up to your highs. They have to be just as dull as your high spot in order for it to be level. That's how you know. But you can't work on just that one area. You know what I mean? You have to sand across the whole area that you started with in order to make it level. And then you can use what they call buildable primer. And you can, taper off the whole area. Make sure you put paper so that way it doesn't get overlap everywhere else. And just spray that area with buildable primer. Let it dry. And then maybe shoot it again, because you want to build it up to the rest of the paint level. And then you could shoot it with a couple of coats of paint. You know what I mean? And then once you're done shooting it with a couple of coats of paint, you could take the wrapping off and you could shoot the whole area. You know what I'm saying? That blends it in so that way they can't tell that you did the work. That's what a lot of people don't know. I mean, you could do it with a rattle can or what they call paint bomb. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're using a stool or a step stool, something that gets you visually looking down on it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to tell. But you just really have to sand that area and make sure everything's level in order for it to work right. Oh, yeah. You said what year's the vehicle? I'm trying to read to see if you put it in there, but I don't see it. Learn how to fish them up or have a rodeo. What year is the rodeo? Or redo? No, wait a minute. What kind of car do you got? I thought you said Laredo, but just make sure that you're visually looking down on it. Okay, and then okay, all right. 13. I had a 2010. Yeah. The paint. The problem is with those cars is they use very little paint. Like they'll probably shoot it 1 or 2 times at the factory, and then they spray clear coat on it. Clear coat is garbage. That's a cheap man's way out of doing the work properly. At most, like when you're painting a car, even if you're doing it with rattle cans, when you're painting a car, you go one line over this way, okay, all the way to the end, from beginning to end. And then when you come back, you go over the first line halfway, okay? That's how you make sure you're doing the paint job the right way. Because if you do this, you're just going to make a mess of it. And you're going to see it too. Like if you look at it on a side angle and you did that, you're going to see it looks like garbage. Yeah, that is bad. Yeah, clear coat sucks. And everybody's like, no, it's all in the way you prep it. And they say the same thing about Bondo. It's got nothing in the way you do to prep it. All right, it's plastic. And if you're going to put plastic out there in extreme cold and hot temperatures, okay, it's going to start melting. And if it starts melting, you're going to wind up with these little drips down at the bottom where it looks like water built up, okay? And I don't use Bondo for that reason. What I use is fiberglass resin. And I don't use a lathering slab of it all up and down the car. If you're doing metal fabrication, you have a seam. You're only supposed to overlap that area, okay? Like make it a little bit of a pitcher's mound and sand it from there to bring it smooth. You don't need to do the whole damn thing all up. And I seen somebody who said he had a body shop that actually took a truck, the back end of a pickup truck, and lathered the whole thing with this stuff, okay? All the way from the beginning, all the way to the end, all the way from top to bottom. And I'm like, dude, do you know how much work that is? And do you know how stupid that is? Because may not be right now, but a couple of years from now, it's going to start peeling up off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to look like crap. You don't need to use all that. He even had somebody come here and trace out my wheel wells on my 69 Impala Custom because he was doing a convertible and he couldn't get the wheel wells right. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to own a body shop. And then he's making fun of me because I'm using spray cans, rattle cans. I'm like, dude, I could sit there and take that paint, spray it in a gallon jug, get some hardener and reducer, and I could do the same quality paint job as a person who has a paint booth and has the whole mixing table and the little cups and everything else. No different. The paint is still the same. You know, the only problem is with the cars they use nowadays, it's water base. You know, it's not enamel.
Oh, Fred. Wasn't it nice of the king to invite us to the ball and to get some honor? I can't get over imagine the
So that's where it comes down to as far as that goes. And as far as like door panels, like I got a really crappy door panel sitting in my living room from the 57 Chevy. And I went to Home Depot and I bought this, like, I don't know, it's like board. Like they used to use the same kind of board in art class. It's like an artist board or whatever. But this was a lot bigger. Just got to take your time, man. Take your time and do it slow. Don't rush, because if you rush, every time you sand it, clean it off. You know what I'm saying? So that way you don't get any residual stuck in the area where there's actually low spots. That way you can see it. You know what I mean? And if it's still low, keep sanding. Just be patient. It'll come up. You know what I mean? And then if it gets too low between the, you know, the original paint and stuff like that, just use the buildable primer. You know, make sure you taper off the area so you don't get any overlap of the primer. It has to be like paper all around it, you know, close it off. And then, you know, use the buildable primer and then, you know, do a couple of coats of the black paint or whatever color it is. Just make sure you could find the paint number from the VIN number. It'll give you the paint color. Like I used to have a 69 Olds, okay? And part of the VIN number said AP 170. Well, AP 170 was actually a blue. It was a Miller Flake metallic light blue. And you can get that from the VIN number. Just got to research it. That's all. It's the same thing like all these guys that were telling me, okay, a 57 Chevy's engine is not searchable. You can't find out if it's an exact match for that car. Yes, you can. If it has numbers on it, it has to be traceable somehow. Okay? Government is not going to allow cars out there with untraceable engines. Okay, yeah, well, 57's got them on the door frame, you know, on the front, and they're riveted, which is probably the best place for it anyway, because a lot of the cars nowadays with the windows that leak, you know, the windshields and stuff, and that dash VIN number is up in there, you're not going to make anything out on it. But yeah, that's pretty much what it's all about, man. It's just taking your time and knowing that you're trying to get that spot. Like you're going to have a surrounding area that if, you know, you have primer on it or whatever, or the paint's gone or whatever, and then there'll be a couple of like little odd looking marks, like almost like little designs. And those are going to be low spots because they're going to be glossy. That means you haven't touched it with the sandpaper. The parts that you have touched with the sandpaper is dull. Okay, so you have to bring that shiny piece up to being just as dull as the rest of the area. That's how it works. On 3 of the 4 doors on my 69, no, on my 57, 3 of the 4 doors on the 57 actually needed metal fabrication on the bottom. Okay, which is what I did. The one door on the passenger side rear I still have to work on yet. But the floors are solid. The runner boards are not. The frame rails are, and the trunk is solid. Go figure. Now, what was I going to say? Okay. The last inspection sticker on this car was 1976. Okay. The car has been in New Jersey all of its life. There's stickers on the back window that said it was part of some kind of Christian sisters of whatever the heck it was in New Brunswick or Orange or something like that. And the car has only got one other prefix. So that's the original owner. I'm the second owner, according to that title. I have too many dings on. You know what? That could be from hail, though. That could be from hail. You know, hail falling down and stuff like that, or acorns, stuff like that. You know. Let's see. Now the interior that I'm going to have to do on this. See, the door panels that I have to do, it's not just a panel board. It's also like I have 3 different kinds of fabric that I have to cut out. And I'm probably going to have to stitch the borders in order to make them look presentable before I put them on the door panels itself. Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah. Could be from you driving in a dirty area, or it could be from a dump truck, you know, who hasn't had the back end of his truck cleaned. He's got dirt on the things just above or next to the taillights, you know, above the mud flaps, you know, and that stuff could kick out because they don't want to be responsible for anything that hits your car. I look at it this way: if you're carrying that stuff and you didn't clean it off your truck, you are responsible. It's the same thing with the electric company. Like a couple of years ago, I had a surge come into my house and fry my oven. Okay. The electric company said they're not responsible for it. I says, okay, well, if I take my car and run into your pole and split it in half, you're going to tell me I'm not responsible for it? I says, you better believe you're responsible for it. Okay. Take your time. Yep. What's that? Yeah. Don't do YouTube. Okay, whatever. It's a little late for that now, pal. We got somebody in the back wings that's just being quiet. They're not saying a word. There's 3 people in here. We got Pia. We got my friend here, Stingray. And there's somebody else because it shows 3 people. But they're not saying nothing. Watch how quick they leave, Pia. I want to see if my brother's on yet, if he actually woke up yet, or what the deal is, because I haven't seen him. Hope it's going well. I'm out with friends, so it's hard to go on YouTube right now. Good luck. Yeah, whatever. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for your support. Bye. It's like saying, get it. Well, let's see what happened here. Okay, but she doesn't understand to go on it. Something else. No, not even him. He ain't even live either. Oh, well. Oh, God. And let's go on Facebook. We got drawing out a photo. You don't have to, I don't care about that. What's that got to do with me?
Do you know what I've been thinking, Fred? I'll get a petition for some more. We should start saving up Neither one's heard a word the other's been saying. That's Flintstone. You haven't heard a single word I
Yeah, the fun part is going to be able to do the back part of the front seat, because I think the lower part of it's actually got some kind of plastic or something. The bottom part of the back seat is, I have fabric attached to the loops already that go to the part of the lower part of the back seat. But I still have to stitch the fabric to the actual front, and then I have to cut out the squares to make them a little bit smaller, because I think they're a little bit too big, and fit them in there, because I'm not doing it the same way it was. It didn't look right. What they had was a big black spread of material on the bottom, which had green highlights, and you're never going to find that material again. Nobody has that. Nobody makes it anymore either. And then it looks like they used vinyl, and it looks like they used some kind of plastic. I'm like, really? Plastic? It didn't look real. So I'm doing it in vinyl, which will be black, but it'll be the whole outer surrounding of the bottom part of the seat. And then there's going to be two square turquoise pieces that are going to be attached to that on both, one on each side. And then the back part's going to be the same way. And then all I got to do is find the big buttons that go in it. So I'm going to try and make it look the same way it did back in 57. The headliner is a different animal altogether. And this went out again. Gee, thanks a lot. Yep. The headliner is a different animal altogether, because it starts out from being tucked under a part of the windshield just above the sun visors. And then it goes to the first rod, that goes across, from driver's side to passenger side. You have to take that rod out, but you have to do the measurements first. You have to do from where it starts and leave yourself a couple of inches so that way, you could tuck it back in. Go from where it starts to the first pole that goes across, okay? And each pole is a different length, like a difference in inches. They're not the same, especially when you get towards the back where the back windshield is. It's definitely not the same. And if you don't do it right, it'll come out messed up. All right, let me see what's going on here. Your channel. All right. It's 3. Somebody's in here. Say hello. Say hi. Oh, man. Well, let me see. I think I got my razor over here. Do a little shaving. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't going anywhere. I'll stay there for a little while. Not in that much of a hurry to leave. I mean, actually, this is probably one of the first live streams that's actually gone properly, instead of it giving me a problem, So, yeah. All right.
your voice to sound like Boomer. Area code is 535. And number is 235-235-3659. Hello, Mrs. Slate. Hello, Mr. Slate. This is Boomer. Flintstone Slate. Yes, Mrs. Flintstone. Your voice. I mean, I just wanted to thank you. Right at home and fed for the day's home. But, yeah, I know I sound strange. You have a bad cold, too.
Ah, welcome back.
Well, yes, I'll take care of them.
Oh boy,
Have a good time. Well, goodbye, Mr. Slate.
got to get the broom out. Yeah, so we had a couple more in here, but they didn't say anything. We still have, we have 3 in here right now. So we got Pia, we got Stingray here, and somebody else who's still just not saying nothing. Anyway,
Yes, Pebbles, you and Van Damme go out and play.
are you teaching how to sit? Oh no, I was feeling a little itchy, so I figured I'd shave it a little. That's all. See, that's the wonderful thing about being like this is like it's not obscene, it's not vulgar. It's just like if I feel like shaving, I'll shave. It's the same thing like what is it? My other buddies who are on here, you know, we got the hell is it? Mortsky Garage. He calls his beers sandwiches. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's not something that's giving you protein, pal. That's making you buzzed and lit. Oh God. Yeah, see, you want to talk about some cassettes for boom boxes? There you go. How about that? We got enough right there. Can you see all them? That's only some of them. I got another wall over there that's got them on it behind the door. Yeah, so I have after I get done with the 57, I got a 69 Olds that a friend of mine gave me. It was her father's car. He bought the car originally in Texas, and she originally wanted it to be restored for herself. So, yeah, I got 3 of them. I got another one on the other side yet behind the door. But she sent me up a car that's a 69 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale. It has a 455 Rocket, but it has bucket seats and it has a console on the floor with the shifter. That was not normal for the 69 Olds. That car normally came with a bench seat and the shifter on the column. And it has a 455 Rocket. I'm not sure if it has a 10-bolt or a 12-bolt posi rear. So I have to find out. If it's 10-bolt, it's, you know, the one wheel slip. If it's 12, it's full torque posi. But that car is going to be, I'm going to paint that turquoise too. I didn't like the color of it. It was that mustard gold. I don't think anybody ever liked that color. And I did do some body work to it, but I actually have to strip out the body work that other people did to the car because it's not formed right and it's too thick. You could tell that somebody put way too much body filler on certain areas. And I had that with the 67 Charger. I found a patch of Bondo on the bottom of the car right next to the rear wheel well, that thick. And I literally knocked it off and did metal fabrication. So I traded a 64 Volkswagen Bug, which had a 1600cc, which had two barrel carburetors. So it was like a 4-barrel, but it was like, 2 and 2. Still fan cooled. And I traded that bug for a 67 Charger. So the Charger had the 383 V8. I'm sorry. And it had a 4-barrel. But the car was in primer and it wasn't even finished. Like they didn't finish sanding the primer, bringing it down or nothing. So I did the work on that. And if you look at my pictures, Stingray, on Facebook, you'll see there's a 67 Charger there. It's red with black stripes. I did the work on that car. That car sold for $4,500 without the guy even batting a lash. And he wanted the rattle can that I used, the color that I used for the car, because what I did was I used fire red, and that was cheap stuff. It was like Color Place. And after I'd done wet sanded and machine glazed and polished and waxed and everything else, you would never be able to tell that car was painted by me. And he even asked about the black stripes, because most people use decals. Not me. I painted the hood where it comes down like this is the front up here, okay, and on the hood it comes in like this to the windshield, okay. Those two areas there were black paint by me, and the black stripes on the back were the same thing. And the paint that I used, when it was in the shade, it looked like it was red. But when it was in the sun, it looked like it was generally orange. That's what was weird about it. But I brought that car to its original condition as well. The 52 Plymouth that I had, that car came out of a junkyard that had no floors, and somebody took the number 3 connecting rod cap and threw it away. At that time I was married, and my wife said, "You need to stop buying these junk cars. You're making my property look like a junkyard." I'm like, first of all, it's not your property, it's our property. And if it's something that I enjoy and I'm right outside here in the yard, you shouldn't have a problem with it, because I'm within earshot. So the 52 Plymouth, I put new floors on, took the seat out because it was just sitting on the frame rails. I did what body work needed to be done on it, shot it in primer, and then I painted it royal blue. At first, I tried with two-tone. I tried the fenders and the top being white, but I didn't like it. So I just did the whole car in blue. Then I found a visor. I found side pipes. I found what was left of a 52 Belvedere at a junkyard. The only thing that was left on the car was the front bumper, and it was still in chrome. I was surprised. Everything else was like gone. There was nothing left of it. So I took the bumper off, brought it home, put it on the car, did the side pipes. I did the gas tank and the brake lines on that car. And after I got the car running, I had somebody else rebuild the engine. So that car had like no miles on it when I sold it, but I had problems with it still because the carburetor was acting up. Then there's the bottom part of the carburetor where it opens up and gets the gas dumped into the intake. Well, the rod that goes across that, I think it was a throttle rod, it actually snapped in half on the inside. And trying to find carburetors going back that far for that old of a car is very difficult at best. So what I did was I had a couple of carburetors laying around that weren't the same kind, but they had the same kind of linkage set up similar to it. And I tried my best to, get it back running again. And I just sold it because, I mean, when they get too old, if they don't make a surplus of parts for the cars that you can, either the refab or something like that, if they don't make the parts for the car, you have a hell of a time finding the parts. No joke. And if you do find them, you better believe you're going to pay a fortune for them. That's why I like the 57 Bel Air. It's very high in price. And mine is the Cadillac version of all of them. It's not the 110. It's not the 220. It's none of that. It's actually the full torque Bel Air. And a Bel Air with numbers match. Well, you're talking about some money. I'm not talking about chump change. So, that's where that comes down to. Now, I'm trying to think, what else did we do? The 69 Impala, that car had rot, on the outside panel around the wheel well. Okay. And I use my imagination when it comes to a lot of things. Like I took a piece of metal, thin, but a piece of metal, and I bent it into an L shape. Okay. And then what I did was I cut slits about every 3 inches. Okay. On one side. And what I did was I flanged it around the wheel well. Then I took the welding machine and just went in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out until the whole piece was welded to the car. Then you do the grinding and, you do the sanding and everything else in order to make it look decent. And then it's the primer and paint. That's what I did. There's pictures of that car beforehand and afterwards. They should be on Facebook. Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter, man. It's the same principle with the new cars. But the thing is that with the new cars, they have so much garbage put on them, like the electronics and stuff. I'm sitting here right now, okay? I have a 2014 Ram 1500 4x4 crew cab, okay? And last week, the engine light was on. I just had a valve job done on that car, a valve guide job, okay? So I corrected it. I found out what the problem was the cap, and and it was sending the code. So I got that straightened out. Okay, well, this week I drove somebody to a place where they needed to go, and I got back, and then I started it up the other day, and I've got the throttle body light is on now, as well as the engine light. I'm like, what the hell is with this? This is a brand new car. I've had cars here that have been like, 40, 50 years old, for crying out loud, even older than that. And they don't give me that much of a problem. All it is an added expenditure that nobody needs. You're not going to take your household computer and go sit out in 3-degree temperatures outside and work on your office work or whatever on the computer. Because damn well the moisture in the air, the coldness, the high humidity temperatures, the rain coming down, the snow coming down, that computer's not going to last long. Well, guess what? Same goes with every car you put that stuff in. Everybody's like, oh, well, it saves gas. You know what? I'll tell you right now, I would rather have an old clunker car that has 18 gauge steel on it and goes down the road like a land yacht than I would these little tinfoil, plastic, and fiberglass cars that they make nowadays, where the engines don't last for more than a month because they got some electronical malfunction. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a problem. Even a couple of years ago, they had the throttle body was actually controlled by a cable, no bigger than a bicycle cable, like you had for your derailleur, And they did away with that. Now it's electronic. So if you have something wrong with your throttle body, which I do, it's going to cost you a fortune. So now I'm debating whether or not to, start processes with a lawyer, because I haven't driven the damn thing. I have a company vehicle that I drive all day long. What do? I go to the corner store out here to get cigarettes, on the weekends. And on a weekday, on Wednesday night, I'll drive somebody from one town to a few towns over and then drive her back home in my own vehicle. And it has like no miles. It doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it. It's got like 69,000 miles on it. And why? Why am I having so many problems? You know, it's not lessening the payment that I make. I still have to make a payment of over 520 something dollars. You know, come on, really. With the kind of money I'm spending on that truck, it should be no problems. I should be able to just jump in it and go to Florida if I want to without a problem. Yep. The computer stuff. And the way they make the computer stuff is from Japan. Surprise! That's the cheapest way going. Cheapest way is Japan or Hong Kong. So, you know, you're not getting your money's worth out of it. Well, yeah, but you want to know something, Stingray? I'm not a certified mechanic, okay? I don't have that little piece of paper that you can fold up and wear on your head as a little hat, okay? You see these right here? You see that right there? That's where my mechanic abilities came from, okay? It's a matter of taking it apart and remembering how you took it apart. It's the same way you put it back together. No extra bolts, no extra nuts. Everything has to go back exactly the way it was. Okay? And if you have to take pictures of it to help you jog your memory, that's great. That's marvelous. At least you've taken the the initiative to complete it, to do it the right way. A lot of people don't do it because they're afraid. They're afraid to experiment, to try things, And I started out long ago. My first car, I think, was a 1970 Dodge Challenger, 426 Hemi, believe it or not. And, that car, I couldn't work on the transmission, and I still don't work on transmissions. Transmissions are not my thing, okay? And that's part of the reason why I leave the transmission still connected to the engine or the engine block or whatever you want to call it, because I'm not vast in that field. Most places up here, you have your auto repair shops, one section. Then you have your transmission shops, another section altogether different. They don't all do transmissions and engine repair. And the reason why I know is because down in Caldwell, there's a place called Fisher Trans. Okay. They only deal with transmissions. And most of your auto parts or auto rebuild places are not going to have an inner lever for your transmission. And what an inner lever is when you pull down on your selector, there's a rod that rides into a hole, okay? And it's got notches. And on the top and the bottom of this tube that this inner lever rides in, okay, every time it goes through a notch, those ball bearings drop in, okay? And that's how you differentiate reverse, neutral, drive, and so on. That same principle, as far as I know, still works today, okay? The only reason why I know that is because I had a 55 Packard, and that broke because that was made out of pot metal, which is something that they never should have done. Something that's going to get that kind of stress on it should not be made out of cheap metal. And then that car also had drive bands, which pretty much is the same principle as brake shoes in a car. Okay. When you press the pedal or whatever, or when you put it in gear, it shifts from, the selector to another area, and it drops in on those drive bands. Okay. And that's where the fluid has to come in, because you need it to keep cool. If it's not kept cool, it overheats, and then your bands wear out, and then your car doesn't drive anymore. Now, with a clutch plate, you have to actually have that taken out and have it resurfaced. You can't do that yourself. That has to have somebody else do it. There's shops that do those types of things, like your brake drums when you buy them from an auto parts store. Those are refabbed. The metal part on those brake shoes are the originals from somebody else. They turn them in as a core, okay? And the factory actually takes the asbestos stuff and they attach it to the metal part that person brought in as a core after they've cleaned it up. You understand what I'm saying? That's how everything gets recycled. But drive bands for a 55 Packard 400, lots of luck with that. And lots of luck knowing how to get it apart. I have trainer manuals for Packard to this day. I mean, when I put this 57 Chevy back together, I have a shop manual. I never bothered to open it up and look at it. Not once. Nope. And everybody's saying, well, you got to do a valve adjustment. You know what a valve adjustment is? Okay, you have your cam on top. You have your crank on the bottom. You have your small gear on the bottom. You have your big gear on top. You have a timing chain that goes around that, okay? And in the gully, underneath the intake manifold, okay, there's push rods. And they're connected to rocker arms, okay? And those push rods are going in lifters. Every time you crank that engine, they go from lobe to lobe. So it drops off, comes up, drops off, comes up, okay? That cam is actually pushing those lifters up, okay? Which in turn is pushing that push rod up, okay? And in turn is taking that rocker arm and putting pressure on your valves, whether it's your exhaust or your compression stroke. There's two valves, okay? You have a compression and an exhaust valve for each cylinder, which means if you have a V8 that's, 8-cylinder, whatever you want to call it, okay? Each one of those cylinders has two valves, okay? They're independent. They have their own rocker arm. They have their own valve. They have their own push rod, their own lifter, okay? And timing is a matter of where the lobes on the cam are, okay? And it shows, like, when your rocker arm goes down and then it comes back up. You could see that with the valve covers off, okay? Your piston itself has rings on it. Those rings on the piston create a seal inside a cylinder wall, which is actually looks like a canister. And your heads come down on top of that. There's a little space up top, and it has the two valves. One's the exhaust, one is the actual compression, okay? And you have your coil, your distributor cap, and the wire coming from the battery to the coil throws spark into the distributor points condenser, okay? And it throws spark up into the actual cap, which spreads out to each spark plug wire, which goes down to each spark plug, okay? When you're pumping gas, your gas goes in through that intake, spreads out through each one of those tubes right into the cylinder wall, okay? When that piston comes up and those valves go in, boom, okay, it's a combustion chamber. That's where you get explosions, and that's how you get compression and how you get horsepower. It's all intertwined. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know the whole mechanics of it. They've never, never bothered to even think of it. And a lot of the engines, I mean, unless you're going to go into flatheads were a little bit different, but not by much. Instead of the spark plugs being on the side, they were up top. That was the only real difference. Everything was up top instead of on the side. There's nothing wrong with trying to learn. It's when a person who has a closed mind and doesn't hear things, those are the ones that are ignorant. That's what it's all about. It's like when you're trying to find top dead center. Now we're going to go through with the same thing with the cam lobes. Okay, the cam lobes move the pistons up and back and forth and all that other jazz, and you have your exhaust and your compression. Okay, what was I talking about? Now the other thing is the fuel injection. That was the other thing. Now the fuel injection is different. The fuel injection can either go through the carburetor like they did in the 80s, the late 80s. They did. I remember my father had a what the hell I call it? It was a K car. It's a little tiny wagon, made by Chrysler or whatever. And they had the fuel injection going right into the carburetor. Then they spanned it out and had wires going from, I think, another portion of there's like a relay switch or something that was connected to the coil or any kind of electrical system that they had running at that time. Okay. Why did you retract a message, Pia? What's up? What happened? Now, Stingray, if you're trying to learn, now the best way for you would be is if you don't understand what I'm saying to you, is to get those shop manuals. Get a shop manual of your car or something that you want to work on. Just read through it and look at the pictures, because the illustrations, believe it or not, I know a lot of people say, well, if you're not reading the book, blah, 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 this or the other thing, but you can usually skim through. You know what I'm saying? What you're reading. And you can skim through what you're reading and you can pretty much grab the concept from that. But sometimes people need that visual illustration to put the puzzle pieces together. So that's pretty much what it is. Like, it's not saying that a guy is stupid, because he's not working on cars. But if you have a closed mind and you're not willing to learn, then that is stupid, because you could be saving yourself thousands. I'm going to tell you something right now. When I got this 57 Chevy, I actually had a friend of mine on Facebook who I've known since I was a child, okay, told me he knew some guy that was a mechanic right near my area. I was like, okay. So I figured I'd give him a shot. I turned around, I said to him, well, where's he at? And he told me where he's at. And I went to the guy and I says, well, I need to get a timing chain and a set of gears put in my car. Before I even knew the pistons were gone, okay? The two pistons that I replaced in the rings, okay? He goes, oh, yeah, okay, that's about $800-900. I'm sitting there remembering how long it took me to do a timing chain and set of gears on a 50 Dodge Coronet. The principles are still the same. You have a radiator, you have a fan, you have fan belts, you got pulleys, you got a generator. All that happy garbage had to come out. And a timing chain cover, as well as an engine brace and an engine bushing, which was just a piece of square rubber, okay, that was on top of a brace that looked like kind of like a V, okay? It went from one side of the frame to the other side of the frame, and in the middle, it held the engine up. But it was the same thing. I mean, the principles were all the same. Timing chain comes out, it's got to be put in top dead center, and, the points have to line top to bottom. There's a dot on the top gear and a dot on the bottom gear. Now, 57 does not. 57 has got the lower tooth where it has to be lined up with the top dot on the top gear. Okay. Then you put the chain on. And then you line it up the top dead center. But the time that it takes to do that is not 3 hours. It's like an hour and a half, maybe at most 2 hours. Okay. And this guy's saying $800-900. I'm like, what are you making? $300 an hour? Even the mechanics in the garages don't make that kind of money. And before he could say, well, you don't work in a garage, I'll be like, I did. And if I want to, I can go back there in a heartbeat because I worked for somebody who knew who I was, and they still do today. See, that's the thing, as I've worked in a lot of garages myself. I worked for, the little minuscule ones. I worked for Pep Boys. I worked for what was it? Another person that I knew when I was a kid. He had an automotive garage. I worked in there. I worked in a bus garage doing body work before I got my CDL license. Let's see. I worked for Pep Boys out in Delaware, and I worked for a place right up the road from my house. And that's the guy that he said he'd take me back in a heartbeat, because I knew what I was doing. So the certification doesn't mean squat. It just shows that you wasted 4 years of your life in a class to receive a piece of paper that somebody else said, well, you know what you're doing. And you wasted all that money for it, just for that piece of paper. Now you can take that piece of paper and fold it up and wear it on your head as a little hat. It's with everything that I've done has always been hands-on. I've never gone through training. I used to work as a PCA, a patient care associate, taking care of elderly people. Okay. Now, normally you have to have a certification for that. To be a nurse's aide or something like that, you have to have certification. But I know something a lot of people don't. Okay. If the senior that you're taking care of has a DNR, which means do not resuscitate, you can work with them being uncertified. If they have a resuscitate, bringing them back, you cannot. You have to be certified. That's the difference with that. And I've worked, pool places. I've worked for at least 3 different pool companies. And, and I'm not just talking about cleaning the pool. I'm talking about installation. We had this one doctor that was over in, what the hell is it, Wayne? And he lived on a hill, okay, stone. And he wanted a partial in-ground and a partial above-ground pool because the way his property was shaped and what was there. So we had to do blasting with dynamite. That was fun. Yeah, that was real fun. Okay. So I've done that, and I know all about the filtration system and the heaters and all that. It's no big deal. It's the same thing as plumbing. I can do the same thing here. I work with roofing contractors. I've worked with painting contractors. I worked as an executive chef, a pantry chef, a short order cook, a fry order cook. I worked as a caterer. And I was a member of the Commercial Food Workers Union, Local 1245. So, yeah, I've been there, done that. I can drive transit buses, the ones with no front nose, the wheels right underneath the driver's seat. I used to work as a custodian, groundskeeper. There's so many things that I have done. I mean, I'm not sad about it. I worked for many, many bus companies, but a lot of them have either had sold hands, like went bankrupt or just couldn't afford to stay in business, changed from one name to another, or a couple of the companies actually had some unsavory things with kids. So they had to get rid of the drivers, and it caused the company to go belly up because of lawsuits. So, yeah, I've been there, done that, seen it. But, the thing is like I said, with the cars, I know how to do it. I know where every nut, every washer, everything, I know where everything goes on this. I know every bolt, where it's supposed to go, no matter what the size. Every washer, the car has exhaust manifold bend tabs. I managed to get them off without breaking the bend tab off. Okay, so when I took them off, they weren't bent. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't bent back off of the bolts. So the size of the bolts are 9/16. I couldn't get that 9/16 over the bolt because the bend tab was still intact. That's how I know the car hasn't been messed with. Now, I managed to get those bend tabs off and not break them. Okay, but I still know how they go back. I know they have to have washers, the whole 9 yards. And the only ones that don't have bend tabs are the ones in the middle of the exhaust manifolds. They're ram heads. They have no, I don't do that. No, that's not my thing. Abercrombie and Finch is I don't think so. No, not my thing. No. But I mean, hey, if that works for you, whatever, float your boat, man. That's that's your business. But no, I haven't done that. I remember going to the mall and seeing that store being there, and I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, really? It's like a girl sitting there working at Victoria's Secret, and she's standing outside wearing lingerie that somebody else wore. Oh my God. No, I haven't done that. No, I don't. That's not my forte. I'm not my thing. No, my thing is the kind of things that I've done. That's it. But yeah, ladies, some people. No, not all. Not all. No. I've done enough. I've done enough to keep me busy. And here I am above 50. So, and I have my own house. It's not something that you're going to have when you're younger. When you're younger, you have a lot of proving to do in society of who you are and what you stand for, and in general, what kind of knowledge you have. My thing is, I've just been lucky enough that I haven't had to use. I mean, I've gone to college. I went to college for 4 years. I went to a 2-year community college before that. And I went to high school. I have my high school diploma here. I didn't never feel like, the things that I did in college were like what the kids are learning in high school now. That's how far advanced their schooling is compared to what ours used to be. When I was in college, we were doing English Comp 1. They're doing that in high school now. Okay. Reading Comp 1. They used to do art classes that are usually done in not a university, a community college. They're doing in high school, or they're doing it in a VOTEC from high school. So they're not going to college. It's just a spin-off of their high schooling. That's it. And I know this from driving the kids. Now, guess what? We are coming up on 3 hours. So, I'm going to get off of here soon, about another 10 minutes, Pia, because I know you want to do some things, and I know you don't want to be up all night, and I know your time period is different from mine. So, I thank you, everybody, for showing up. Whoever's here. Stingray, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. And thanks for the like. I appreciate that as well. And whoever the silent person is in the background there's somebody else here. There's 3 people here. And they're just not saying nothing. They're just standing there and they're listening. And I know they're here. I see 3 people. So we got Stingray and we have Pia. And the unknown comic is the number 3rd person. Yes. Yes, we did. We sure did, Pia. This one worked out a lot better than the other ones. And you know what? I think that's probably the best bet to do from now on is like I'll do my networking after I'm online because it doesn't seem to work beforehand. And it seems to give YouTube a reason to mess up my live stream. So, I think that's what we're going to do from now on. I'll do the networking after I'm already online. Maybe I'll draw a better audience. I'm sure you'll come back again, right, Stingray? I'll be having live streams, probably once every week. Just to, I got to get people in here, because they got to know something about cars too. There's a lot of people out there that want to do it. They're afraid to do it. Just like you said, Rick, Stingray. You said you were afraid to do it. Well, it's not really that big. Yep. So we got 9 minutes, and then I'm going to get off of here because I have such a pain in my left leg. It's not even funny. No, LOL, just kidding. Yeah, so this is something I'll be doing once a week, and I do post videos. I just didn't have any patience for today to be out there and slipping and everything else. And I'm trying to get something done, and it's not working. Now, yeah, I know it's taken a long time to get this car back together, but you got to remember something. I'm using like minimum toolage. You know what I'm saying? Like poor man stuff. I don't have a garage, and I have to literally lay down on a piece of cardboard underneath the car in order to drop the oil pan, to put new gaskets in, to put the bolts back in, to put the bolts back in on the suspension going through the frame. All that stuff takes time. And then, when you're up underneath there after you drop the oil or after you drop the oil pan and you're putting connecting rod bushings back in there and the caps back on and torquing them down to specs, it all takes time. It takes time. And sometimes I find being up top of the car is a lot harder than working underneath the car because the fenders are so high on a 57 Chevy. And like, if you looked at the Oldsmobile in my film footage, you'll see it on the side. The fenders are a lot lower, so it's easier to work on things. But the engine's like set in there, and the fenders are like yay high, So it's almost like you have to climb on top of the fenders like a pickup truck in order to get in there and work on anything. Or you have to go up underneath, and that's what I'd rather do. Like even the spark plugs. I got 2 spark plugs I got to put in on the passenger side yet. I'm going to go up underneath and put them in because it's easier to get to it from there. And mainly that is because it's all the way up against the firewall. So with that said, yeah, there's a lot of videos on my thing. There's 203 that'll keep you busy for a while. Don't mind the short ones. The short ones there's something where I was saying something about, there was somebody that was doing a song about, men don't get to choose their women's eyes, the breast size, and all that other crap. And I said, I did something to the extent of women don't get to be a manipulator, an emasculator, and so forth and so on. But just don't bother with that. There's videos of the cars. There's also videos of the boom boxes, and there's videos, I think, even of me restoring them. I'm not sure, but you just have to go through it and see what's there. And I'm not done. I mean, like I said, with the 57, I got a long way before I'm finished there anyhow. I still have to do the interior work, door panels, finish up the engine, and then I got to paint and do body work on the outside again when the weather breaks. Just because I want to make the car look really, really good, And I have new tires for it. They're sitting inside the car. So those dry rotted ones with the white walls on them, they're not going to be on there. These are black tires. And that's what's going to go on it. Yep. So I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking, and thank you for your questionings. And, hopefully I gave you the answers you needed. And I hope to see you again next time on my next live stream. Until then, folks, see you.
Is this some kind of a joke?